all the opinions of the world can sway your influence in the blink of an eye. My dad always say you have one name. As soon as one person say throw a rumor out there, and everybody, the bandwagon come in on that rumor, it's over.
That's fact.
It's gonna take a lot more work to get your name back at high standing versus the work it took for them to kill your name just like that quick. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to episode 4 of the More Purpose Podcast,
where we talk faith and finances.
I'm your host, Clarence.
And your co-host, Marlon.
And today we are going to be talking about the cost of influence. But we can't talk about the cost of influence without leadership.
Yes, sir.
So first question, you ready?
Yeah, let's get
right
right into it.
All right, bet. First question is, what comes with leadership?
So with leadership comes influence. Mm-hmm. But you can either have positive influence or you can have negative influence. And I say that because when you're a leader, it's a different light shined on you. So meaning, yes, everybody is human. We're all sinners. But leaders are held to a different standard than others are, whether you like it or not. So I'm going to give you an example. Because when you go from I'm going to say a regular person, but when you go from a regular person and then step into the leadership role, like I said, that light's on you. So you can't make the same mistakes that you once made. So I'm going to give you an example. I was playing football. When I was on JV, I missed a tackle or somebody would score me. I played defensive back. Somebody would score me. And my coaches would tell me, you got to make that play. You got to make that play. When I moved up to varsity and the same thing was happening, somebody scoring me, I'll miss a tackle. They look, you supposed to be done with that in JV. You supposed to fix that in JV.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say, when you move up in that leadership role, when you move up a step and God elevates you, you can't afford to make the same mistakes that you were making. It's a whole different light on you, and they hold you to a way different standard.
Bro, the standard thing is that's a fact. That's a fact. Because when you have influence, that means you have some type of power to sway people's opinions, perspectives, so on and so forth. So, excuse me. But yeah, so on and so forth. So when it comes with leadership, like you said on the football field, if you want to be a captain, you can't be a captain trying to call everybody else out on certain plays or everything that they missing, and you go back and miss the same exact tackle.
And that's the thing, because I was a captain. Mm-hmm. So Uncle Ben said in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Mm-hmm. And like we said, it's a whole different standard. But the problem is, a lot of us want to be leaders. A lot of us want to be in control and have that title, but are not ready for it.
Bro, it's crazy because I find myself praying all the time with, like, God, make me a leader. God, give me the boldness and the consistency and the work ethic to be able to lead people in the right direction, to not lead people astray, or to not lead people down the wrong path, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. But what comes with that is different trials and tribulations that make you an actual qualified leader. Yeah. But with that, you have to actually have the mindset, the wisdom, and everything to actually, one, take accountability for your different actions, to know where you went wrong, to be able to build off that, and two, actually practice and work under people, serve under people that's good leaders, so you can study their every move and actually become a good leader yourself. Because if you try to become a leader without having some type of person as a leader that was leading you by example for you, how you gonna know how to lead? How you gonna know how to work with people? How you gonna learn the skills that you need to be able to run or lead the team to where they need to be at? But that's just like this analogy I was talking about earlier. Basically, like, you want to be the captain but can't even drive the boat. Like, how you gonna lead the ship to where they need to go? You don't even know where you're going. Like, you learn under nobody. But what do you think about that? Like,
I think most leaders are formed in the dark. So like, to what you said about the serving, like, a lot of people want to be leaders but didn't serve nobody. And that's a big thing, especially not just in the church world, but in the world in general, that a lot of people want a lot of stuff to happen for them but don't serve anybody. So to sidetrack a little bit with that, talking about serving comes with a humble spirit. The problem is, we have a lot of leaders that are prideful.
Hey, boy.
You get what I'm saying?
Talk to them.
And I feel like that's a big thing, like, today that we're dealing with as a society, that we have a lot of leaders that are prideful because they didn't serve nobody. They just expected everything. It's my way. I will control. I'm not serving nobody else's vision. Everybody's going to serve my vision. You get what I'm saying? And actually, as a leader, I believe leaders should have some of the humblest spirits.
Always.
Like, you know what I'm saying? A real leader is humble enough to know when to take the back role. Is humble enough to know when it's somebody else's turn to lead for this period of time. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of leaders don't have that quality.
It's crazy because, like, for my situation, for y'all that don't know, I'm a photographer. So, like, for my situation, I never really grew up with having a person I could shadow under as far as, like, photography wise. Because for me, nobody in Virginia was really either willing to teach or where I wanted to be at as far as photography came. So I had to always go to YouTube to really figure out the lane I wanted to be in photography wise, and just learn from people that's across the world, because there's nobody in person that I could study behind, learn from, teach me right from wrong, teach me how to go down this path instead of this path, everything. So I'm learning everything through experience now, like getting a building and everything. Learn that nobody taught me how to get a building. I'm literally learning everything as I go. But I think God is more so has blessed me to be able to be qualified along the way, because I know God's my leader at the same time. So it's like, even though I haven't had like no physical leader, no physical mentor, or anybody I can learn from and serve to, He still blessed me enough to be able to lead by example and still lead the right path, because I'm serving God's business. Yeah. So it's like, when I'm serving God's business, God's still allowing me to be able to lead in a way through my photography business and put people on, bring people on the team, all that stuff. Even though I may not feel qualified to lead, those people that's under me still feel qualified to look to me for leadership, guidance, so on and so forth. Yeah. Even though I'm still looking for that as well in my personal field. But I feel like with that comes with you having like you said, a humble heart. Yeah. Knowing when to let people work, having a heart for people in general, like having a heart to be like, oh yeah, nah, Ron, you gonna lock in today. Like, go ahead and tap in with this. Ain't that, go ahead and tap in with this, so on and so forth. Lead, you run the team for this one. You run the idea for this one. You come with the idea for this. And not just always being a dictator, not always being the my way or the highway type person. But that comes with your heart posture. Yeah. So well, what you said to the heart posture, I think how you said you don't have nobody, you're basically like as your leader right now. Well, God is your leader. I think certain people are called to be leaders. Yeah. And then I think everybody can form into a leader. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can get the proper tools to form into a leader. But some people are specifically chosen to be leaders, right? Yeah. But I think with leadership, a lot of people want to be leaders. But going back to, we talked about the cost of the influence, a lot of people don't want to pay the price. You know what I'm saying? So, and what's the price? So the price is holiness. Like giving up your old lifestyle for this new lifestyle, because you're put on display. Facts. I can't act the same way I was acting beforehand before I got on this platform, before I got on this stage. It's a bright light on me. So this is something I think is very important, that a lot of us don't take the crucifixion first before we try to get elevated and stuff like that. Like we're trying to get elevated, we're trying to get these titles before we let God do the work within us. All the behind the scenes work. Because if you let's just say you have an issue you're struggling with, something you're struggling with, right? And you just putting the cover over it, right? When you get that leadership role, that same thing that you was falling to, you're going to fall to it again, but it's going to be on a grander scale. Facts. It's going to get uncovered. So back then, it may not have got as much attention, but now it's like, this is a leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, you're getting held accountable. You're getting held accountable. So we got to, before we want to be leaders, we got to ask ourselves, like, what is it I need to work on first? I need to ask God to do the work within me first. God, take this out of me, oh God. Give me the qualities that I need to be a leader, so I can lead the people right. Because you can't afford to make certain mistakes. Again, like I said, everybody's sinners. We all make mistakes. But to whom much is given, much is required. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta take it serious, because being in a leadership role you have a lot to lose. Everybody wants to be leaders, but especially in the church world and the spiritual realm, you don't realize how many souls are attached to this stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not no joke. Right, like, for example, everybody wants to be a preacher. This thing, you want to be a preacher, you don't know your Bible? This not no joke. Yeah, come on now. This not no, you teaching people the wrong, you're taking people to, you know what I'm saying? Lead people astray. Yes, you leading them right astray. So this stuff is not a joke. It's crazy because I think it's in James chapter 3, verse 1 through 12 basically talks about this, but the first verse 1 and 2 it basically says how not to be so quick to become a leader in the church, because people that are leaders in the church will be judged differently. That's true. And in general, before you even assume that or even want that choice to be like, all right, God, I want to be a leader and everything, make sure you're not judging nobody. Make sure you're judging yourself. Point your finger back at yourself and start doing some self-examinations and everything, because that's where you can grow at. And that's where you be like, all right, bet I'm a gossiper, or I'm a person that always catches myself in a lie, or I'm a person that always catches myself in this, or I'm always misinterpreting things, this and that, and let God fix you where He need to fix you at. Because if not, you're going to be caught up in something on a way grander scale, like Marlon said, and that's where all the opinions can come in. All the opinions of the world can sway your influence in the blink of an eye. My dad always say, you have one name. As soon as one person say, throw a rumor out there, and everybody, the bandwagon come in on that rumor, it's over. That's fact. It's gonna take a lot more work to get your name back at high standing versus the work it took for them to kill your name just like that quick. So it's a lot of personal work that you got to put in before you get put on the spotlight, and a lot of transparency that comes with that, because I feel like the main thing we miss in our youth is transparency.
That's true.
Like, our youth, they're not really on the vibe of like Bible. Like, they want to hear like the transparency that comes with Bible. So like, I can't come to anybody, a random crowd, be like, this scripture says this, like Jehovah's Witness type vibe, without giving them an actual transparent moment from my personal situation that led, like how the scripture actually led me out of this situation. So I can't come to somebody and be like, fellas, don't walk around having sex with any and every girl like it's a clout contest or whatever, without showing my own personal delivery from doing that. Like, I can't go and be like, yo, y'all start wilding out with this, and they be looking like, nah, like, what you mean? Like, what did you tell me this scripture gonna do for me?
Yeah.
Without me being like, I used to do the same exact thing, but this scripture right here, explained to me why I shouldn't be doing this, and it led me to live a greater life now. Now I feel way better. Now I'm free from that sexual sin and everything. So it comes from them seeing people in their age and everything. Because like we said before, adults don't really give us the explanation or the reason of why we shouldn't be doing these things. And they're people of influence too, like leaders and everything too. But they always just be like, don't do this with no explanation. Yeah. And I feel like that's where the changes come from our generation too, as far as people want to come more to church, talk more about the Bible and everything, because they see our youth like actually being transparent about it and not really trying to hide the different sins we had. Because again, like Marlon said, everybody sins. If you want to be a leader, we know you're going to fall. Romans 3:23, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. So like, you're going to fall short sometimes. You're going to slip up and everything. But as long as your heart posture and your steps are moving towards where God wants you to be, it's gonna be good. Like, you might have some people that throw out some bad things about you. You might have a slip up here and there, whatever. But if you are moving with intentionality and moving towards God's purpose for you, it's only so much that people can throw at you before you get put on the pedestal. So, throw that back to you. My fault.
No, you good. Dad always told us, like, being a leader, you need broad shoulders.
Yeah, boy.
So he always said that.
He dropped a book on that too. Y'all.
Yeah, you need broad shoulders, and just meaning like how much leaders actually take on. I think being a leader, you're in a decision-making process. You take most of the accountability, like you said earlier. So it's like, if this thing goes right, it's on me. Yeah. If it goes wrong,
it's on me.
It's on me. So you gotta have broad shoulders to be a leader. Like at the end of the day. And so what you said about the transparency and about the youth and stuff like that, I think that's what makes our great leaders great. Yeah. Because they let the work happen within them first. So going back to the things they used to struggle with, they let God transform them first, and now they can help others. They can lead other people out of that because they let the work start before they ask God for the platform. But we ask God for the platform prematurely.
Bro, it's crazy. Hold on. It's crazy because Tim Ross' Basement, he did an episode with the porn star that turned into a pastor, basically. And the porn star, like, most people gonna be looking like, why am I gonna go to church and listen to a porn star? But the porn star, God let him have this experience of life and everything to free up people that fall into sexual lust, sexual sin, people that fall into the pornography, like the addiction to pornography and everything. So it's like, you never know what your struggle might be able to help somebody else out if you become transparent, if you become a good leader, if you become, like, have the heart posture of, yeah, I did this, but this doesn't define me of where I'm going. Just like how Jesus was getting disciples that all sinned. Yeah. He wasn't looking for people that was perfect.
That's facts.
He was walking around saying, I want you, bring your sin with you, bring your baggage with you. Come on, drop everything, come with me. I don't care how you are, come on. You over here killing people, you over here lying, you over here having sex with this man. Yeah. It don't matter, come with me. So I'll show you what real life is.
Nah, I think one thing that we don't really talk about is the actual cost of influence and leadership is basically having to be the example. And I think that's a huge thing, having to be the example, because when you called to be a leader, a lot of times you're gonna find yourself doing what the crowd is not doing. Facts. And that's the cost that people are not willing to take. Everybody wants to be a leader, but everybody doesn't want to go the opposite way from the crowd.
Can't be a follower.
And a lot of times, like I said, a lot of people are called to be leaders. A lot of times, when you actually go the God route and you take the holy route, you don't know it, but your friends are going to follow suit because you're called to be a leader in that group. But because you're scared to be by yourself, because you're scared to take that road to God, your friends and the people that was called to your life, who you were supposed to help get saved, they're not saved. They're still doing the same thing that you're doing because you didn't change your life yet. A lot of people are waiting for you as the leader of the group or the leader of the friend group, the leader of the family, to change your life first, and they'll follow suit. And that's why I believe God called most of us to be leaders, but a lot of us are scared to take that route by ourselves. Like, no, I'm not doing that no more. No, I'm not going there no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the cost of leadership. Sometimes you got to be alone. Sometimes you got to go and do things you don't want to do. It don't matter if your flesh craves that. I have people watching me. I have people looking at me. I can't go back to that.
You got to walk in a good example. That goes with representation too. So I was talking to a friend the other day, and we was basically arguing low key about like what I can and cannot wear. Cause I was letting her know, I was like, I can't wear that. I was like, yeah, you want to wear that and everything, but I can't wear that.
Facts.
She was like, oh yeah, would you wear this shirt? It got skulls and stuff on it. I was like, nah, I can't wear that. She's like, why you can't wear that? I was like, bro, like for the spotlight that God has on me and everything, the platform I have, I don't need to wear anything that's gonna lead people to question what I'm doing. So like the other shirt put up, we was in Urban Outfitters. Me and JP was in Urban Outfitters. I was like, oh yeah, these are the different shirts and everything. They was like, oh yeah, get the shirt with the mushrooms on it. I said, I was like, nah, I'm not. I was like, I don't need nobody to be like, oh, he smokes shrooms.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I don't do none of this stuff. So it's like, even if the shirt tough, you have to always know that everything that you do and everything that you, even what you wear, can have a meaning, a secret meaning behind it. It can have a different type of examples that it represents, so on and so forth. So if I have a shirt of Playboy or anything on my shirt, even if I don't even do none of that stuff, people can look at me and be like, he preached about God and everything, but he got a girl in lingerie on his shirt.
That's facts.
Like, I can't wear everything. But the person was like, why does it matter what you're wearing? Because of the influence I have. Like, God put me on a certain level of influence for a reason, and gave me a certain platform to be able to share his word to everybody. I can't lead people to confusion wearing something that throws their whole mindset off. They can't even focus on what I'm saying because they look at my shirt.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing to what you just said is basically we got to watch our witness. So,
hey boy.
Yeah, this is a transparent podcast. It's transparent.
Hey boy.
So I went to one of my friends' birthday a little while ago, some months ago actually, and I come in. It was already a lot of people scattered in there, and this person had some of their other friends in there also. So some other people that I didn't really hang around with, and there was drinks in the room. There was alcohol in the room, and so I come in, I sit down, and I can just sense people like kind of looking at me to see if I was going to drink. And I can feel it in their minds like this the boy that do the podcast. Like, I want to see if he gonna take a drink. And I say that to say you got to watch your witness. But you have to watch your witness, because what if I would have took a drink that night?
Facts.
What if that would have been the night I picked up the cup and took that drink? They looked at me like, yeah, like, what you doing? Everything he talking about, the guy he talking about, he's serving, all that stuff is a lie. You got to be mindful. You have to be mindful. Yes, I'm human, and but with leadership comes wisdom.
Facts.
And that's listen, you got to know when to say certain things. You got to know when to do certain things, who to be around, who not to be around, who to talk around, who not to talk around.
Facts.
Because with coming in leadership also, and this is the biggest thing, is that the people who are not in the leadership role, they're quick to throw stones.
Promise you, boy. Watch this. So story time, similar to Marlon story time, but I went to one of my boys' kickbacks at his house and everything. We pull up to the kickback. We all chilling there. They start bringing in alcohol, all that stuff, right? Bro was like, hey, y'all taking a shot. See, you taking a shot? I was like, nah, bro, I'm good, bro, I'm straight. As soon as I said I'm good, bro, I'm straight, start going down the line. Different people I'm cool with basically started going down the line. Usually everybody drink, right? I was like, nah, I'm good, bro. Me being a person like in a leadership role, like my friend group and everything, or people looked at me for wisdom in certain situations. I was like, nah, bro, I'm good, I'm not drinking. Bro was like, hey, bro, I'm good too, I'm not drinking no more. Bro over here, nah, I'm good too. Going down the line now. Usually everybody drinking, right? Now I go down the line from me to bro, like all five of us was like, nah, we not drinking tonight. Not drinking. I'm not drinking. I'm good. To the point where it went down the line to where everybody was like, nah, I'm good. But it's like, you never know how much power your decision may have, or that might be a test that God be like, are you going to be a leader or a follower in the situation? Yeah. So in that situation, I took it as a test. Everybody looking at me like, yo, you going to drink? Nah, I'm straight. And me saying, nah, I'm straight led to 4 other people not drinking no more. Yeah. Usually 4 people that usually drink, they drink all the time, but it was like, nah, I'm good. Clarence ain't drinking, I'm not drinking. Yeah.
And that's the power. Influence. That's the positive of influence. That's the positive right there. I think a lot of people get into these leadership roles and they don't live a consecrated and a life of prayer. And I think that's one of the main things, because as a leader, you need to be constantly praying. You need to constantly be fasting, because the devil is trying to attack people in leadership. Facts. Because if you can get the leader, you can get the rest of the troops. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give you an example. I always bring it back to football because I used to play football. But so this is my sophomore year. I was on the varsity team. We was in a playoff game, and one of our seniors on the O-line, I'm not gonna say what school we was playing. We was playing a known school in the area, and one of our seniors on the offensive line was scared. and you could see it, like, and he was talking scared. And what happened? It trickled down all the way down to all the rest of the players. Now everybody like, if he's scared, I'm scared. And I say that to say, like, if you're not living a consecrated life and you're not living a prayed up life, when things happen and stuff like that, your posture will affect the people following you. So you got to make sure your posture is in the Lord. You got to make sure you're hearing the Lord clearly. You're making the right decisions and all of those things, because you're the one they're looking to for guidance. You're the one they're looking to for direction and stuff like that. Of course, but God placed you in their lives to lead them to the promised land, stuff like that. And this is why we have to just be mindful that we stay prayed up and we stay consecrated.
Bro, it's crazy because, like you said, with leadership comes with broad shoulders. Like, even if you're in the right, it's on you. If you're wrong, it's on you.
Yeah.
Be Simone's situation with the book, like the manifestation book, where they was basically saying how she plagiarized someone else's stuff or whatever. Like, with her situation, it wasn't her that picked the stuff out. Her team had picked out the certain stuff that was plagiarized. But everybody put the blame on her. And with her, it was like, as a leader, I'm going to take the blame.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't do it. Like, even though I ain't telling them to go do this, I ain't telling them to go plagiarize all this stuff. I thought it was just a good idea from them coming personally. But it turned out that they plagiarized it from someone else's stuff. But again, all the blame got put on her because she's the leader. She's the person that influence. She's the one that's in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So nobody cares about the people that's on the sidelines. Everybody only care about her because she's the face of the brand.
Yeah.
So they're looking like, B. Simone did this, B. Simone did this. And as a leader, you have to have you can't be quick to respond, basically. You can't be quick to respond. You have to have the patience, the humbleness, and the wisdom to, like, know when and where to respond, how to react to certain things, because your bad reaction to that can lead to even more trouble, more bad news, more gossiping, and so on and so forth towards her name. So her taking accountability could have probably saved her from a lot more worse talks and everything that could have damaged her business even more. But it just goes to show that when you're a leader, like, regardless if you did something or not, they're gonna blame you because you're the one that's the one of influence. Yeah. Even if I was the one that went drinking, this is why when Dad and Mom used to always be like, don't this, don't do that. I used to always take it as in, since we like the leaders, right? Anything I do, I'm gonna be the one to get caught. Yeah. We go rob a bank together. Out of my 10 friends, I'm gonna be the one to get caught because I'm supposed to be the one to influence. I'm supposed to be the one that goes against the grain. We go to a party and something go down. Somebody go do drugs, whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna be the one to smoke weed and get laced and have to be in the hospital, and that's all on camera. Chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my mindset on everything. It's always like the devil don't like wild out on like the people that don't care. That's facts. He don't wild out on people that don't that don't scare him. Yeah. The devil's not gonna react to nobody that's just living life, having fun, because they're no threat to him. Yeah. But people that he know live for God, that he know is going against the grain, that he know that are leading people towards a greater life and away from sin. Oh yeah, he throwing stones at you. Yeah. All types of trials and tribulations and everything. He throwing them your way because he know if I get him to fall, that whole crew fall down.
That's facts,
boy.
And well, that's the crazy part, because, like you said, the devil is always trying to get people of influence and get the leaders. And we can look at society today and look at, it's so much going on in the world. Not even trying to get deep into it, but you got people like, we have Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Do you see how the power and the influence, negative and positive, that you have? You have a positive influence from your music. Then you say some negative, you say some negative comments, and now you see the negative side come out, and that makes me see that as leaders we have to be wise, like we really, and what we say and what we do. And I don't want to get into all the negatives of leadership without mentioning that with leadership it is a lot of positives, and I think my top one positive of being a leader is that God called you. Thanks. So it's a privilege to be a leader. Like, it's a privilege. Think about the lives you're affecting, the lives you're changing by just being a leader. You should think to yourself, like, because a lot of people look at it like how we just said, the leader's always getting caught. A lot of people look at it like, God, everybody else is doing this, I can't do that. Everybody else can go here, God. Yeah. Why can't I do it? And that's how I used to feel. In high school, I used to be like, God, look, it's a lot. Look, it's some dudes in 10th grade. They scamming. They making 10K. They making 10K coming to high school. I'm like, God, I'm trying to get 100, and I'm gonna be the bank gonna call my mama. Yeah, so I'm like, God, why can everybody else get away with all this stuff, but I can't? But not realizing that it's a privilege. Think about how highly God thinks of you to even put you in that position to like I love you that much. Not that he doesn't love the others, but he's holding you to a different standard. Yeah. He handpicked you.
Your standard gotta be higher.
Yeah.
Bro, that was OD. That was good.
Appreciate you, bro.
Bro, I promise you, back in high school, all my friends were scamming.
Yeah, bro.
They be like, yo, see, are you trying to get on this? Hey, yo, just find me somebody Social Security. We can lock in and get 10K real quick.
Crazy, man.
I'm looking like,
Crazy.
I do need 10K, brother. I'm trying to go shopping for Christmas, but I can't do it, bro. They go get that 10K, do what they do, splurge. I'm looking like, dang, I should have gotten that joint.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's a wisdom thing. It's like the fact that I have to even think about it of saying like, should I do this or not? That's a sign to be like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because anything can go wrong as soon as I step foot in there. Because that would be like, come on, take the bait.
Mm-hmm.
Take the bait.
Nah, that's facts.
How you gonna act? As soon as you give a quick little pop out your shell, be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna do this real quick. Police behind your car.
Hey, let me tell you something.
The bank start having a siren or something. Something crazy just happens, and you don't want to get caught. Not
Yeah.
even them. They set the whole play up, and you the one who got caught.
I'm telling you.
Because you already know like the pedestal you on, bro. And that just like it really do be a wisdom thing and a discernment thing too.
Yeah.
Like knowing when and where to be, what parties to go to, when to leave the party, knowing like how to act when you're out in public.
Yeah.
Like if I was to go to a club, I'm not gonna be at the club wilding out.
Mm-hmm.
Why you in the club? I don't know, but
Why you in the club?
like, why you in? You always gonna have people that be like, why he here? Never know like what guy may have called you to do in there or who you called to influence in there. 'Cause I might be called to go to the club, right? Or just go to the club with my friends, but I might be the one again that don't drink and be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna be here with y'all, like happy birthday, so on and so forth. But I'm not drinking, I'm not dancing, none of that. And I might lead someone else to be like, oh yeah, I don't even want to go to the club no more. Let's have a regular hangout next time. Let's start doing this next time. Let's stop spending money in these clubs every single weekend. Cause me, they be like, let's go to the club. You do that. You go.
Nah.
That ain't a trap. But back to the influence, my fault. Got a little sidetrack.
Nah, I think another thing with influence, a lot of us want influence, but we're not influencing the people God already put us around.
You're not stewarding your situation.
So
boy.
that's, man, let me tell you something. Oh my gosh. If you're faithful over the few things, I'll make you ruler over many things.
There you go.
So a lot of y'all want influence. A lot of y'all want the platform. Y'all want all of this, but you don't even influence your friends. And this goes back to, like I said, going against the grain. You're not even helping your friends do better. You don't even stick out like a sore thumb. That's the problem. If you're so called to be a leader, I look at your friend group, it's 5 of y'all, and I can't tell who the leader is, that's a problem. I can't tell who has the influence, that's a problem. So you can't ask God and pray for these things prematurely without working at the surface level first, because this stuff doesn't just happen overnight. It's what you practice. So if you're practicing it with your friend group and with your peers and stuff like that, it will come into play when you get to the bigger platform. But we have to start moving like we have influence now.
To go along with that, just a quick example. So for me, God had called me to start a Bible study group chat, start doing Bible studies, start making the podcast, all that. And with that comes stewarding like the situation we have, because God showed me that we gonna be speaking to millions of people, so on and so forth. So with that comes how y'all gonna steward these Bible studies.
Yeah.
How y'all gonna steward these Bible study group chats. How y'all gonna steward the 5, 10, 15 people that come in person for Bible studies and everything. And it start from FaceTime calls, start from 5 people on FaceTime, 10 people on FaceTime, to 5 people in person, to 15 people in person. And the other week we had 33 people in here. So it's like, how are you stewarding the small situation before you start looking for like the bigger situations? Now we speaking to schools and everything full of kids. So it's like my mom said, you have to be faithful over a few before he puts you in that position to be able to speak to the masses. But that comes with one, like actually building up to that brick by brick.
Yeah, that's a
brick by brick. Like you got it's different stages, there's different levels to it. Like you're gonna get to this. You can't get to this level until you pass this level right here.
That's facts.
Until you start stewarding this $10, then I'll let you get to this $100 right here.
Yeah.
But until then, if you're gonna keep spending this $10 on the same thing, blowing it, why would I give you this $100? You go back to the same money concept.
Yeah.
But yeah, that ain't really like a stewarding situation, and you have to have the mindset to be able to persevere through these different things to be able to get to where God wants you to be at. Because He's not gonna give you the blessing until you prepare yourself for it. When preparation meets opportunity, that's where success comes from. So, that was good. To end this off though, where do you think? I need a good question.
What you about to ask?
I was gonna say, where do you think your leadership role will lead you? But I'm trying to figure out if that's like a.
Where do I think my leadership role will lead?
Like, cause everybody has different leadership roles. So like, everybody, like one person can be a leader over a few, like basically like a mentor. God can just call you to mentor kids or something, or mentor just 3 kids, and that'd be your assignment. Other people might be like, you're supposed to lead all these millions of people right here to where they need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like different levels to that. But I'm trying to think. Is that a good question?
It is. I mean, it is.
All right, so what do you think,
Of
Elise?
course, God has his own plans for my life. He
Mm-hmm.
has his own will for my life. But I'm just talking for what I would desire and what I think. Of course, I don't know what God has in
Yeah.
store. But I think I'm called to lead many people.
Yeah.
I feel like I do a good job leading my friends. And I think it's always great to be able to look around. If you look around within your circle and you can see who you influence.
Mm-hmm.
If you can look around your circle and not see somebody you influence, that's a problem.
You're not doing nothing.
And I feel like, and the reason why I think I'm going to be called to lead a lot of people is because it's never been by force.
Mm-hmm.
It's always just been
Natural, bro.
my standard, how I live. Like they see me, and it's not that I'm not better than nobody, I'm not above anybody, but it's always just been like I'm just a natural born leader. Whether that was on the football field, in the classroom, wherever I was a natural born leader. And I feel like God has put me in a position to continue to steward. And even me just helping you with the podcast is still me being a leader. Yes, I look at you. I look at you like you're my leader, basically, right? Because I do the podcast under you. I do the Bible study under you. But like I said, leaders have to have a humble spirit.
Facts.
So I'm looking at it like I'm helping my brother, whole time not realizing God probably catapult me to where somebody else is serving me.
But to go with that, because Chris had hit me up and he was like, I'm proud of how you let your brother lead Bible studies and everything, even though it was basically what God told you to do. And it's more like like you said, like the humbleness to be able to know like when it's time to shift gears, when it's time to let someone else lead, when it's time for someone else to speak a Bible study, because someone else that may be coming there may need what you have to say versus what I have to say.
And then from my perspective, somebody who may be gifted or talented and skilled in what they do, a lot of people are not willing to sit down and be under somebody.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
I can go do Bible study by myself. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Put your pride to the side.
Yeah, like and that be the problem. That be the problem. And since we right there, since you just said pride, before we get off this, Jane, you just made me think about how when you're a leader, when you're in the position of leadership, you don't understand that you have to humble yourself every day, especially when you're talented and when you're gifted. It's a continuous process of humbling yourself because you don't want to ever think you got to where you are or you're doing the things you're doing on your own. It's an everyday process because with many gifts and with many talents, y'all, I don't think people understand how quick it is for arrogance or pride to come in. So, for example, when I do Bible study, it's like, you brought a good word. My flesh want to be like yeah, like
I was talking that talk.
My flesh want to be like, yeah, I cooked up, like I prepared that. Like, no, it was all God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that in there. You gotta humble yourself continuously
because God will knock you off that pedestal real quick.
Facts.
You try to take
His glory.
Yeah, try to take the glory from him. Watch every time he gonna be like, all right,
Yeah.
humble.
Yeah.
Take it all the way that
That's
quick.
facts.
But you better fix your posture.
Yeah.
Fix your mindset. Be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Yeah.
You better tighten up, bro. But that's this episode. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all join the Bible study group chat and the link in my bio if y'all follow me on Instagram at Sellers Media. Follow our YouTube, like, comment, subscribe on this. Leave a comment of what y'all think leadership is, what it costs to be influential. If you're called to be a leader, what do you think your qualities are? Everything you can think of, any type of conversation we had that led you to have a spark in your thoughts, leave it in the comments for us and leave a like. Leave a review on the Apple Podcast app too for us. And that's it. That's all.
That's all.
I ain't good on that news yet. We got some news coming for y'all later.
Oh yeah, good news, good news. Yes, sir.
But that's it. Love. Y'all be safe. Take your angels. And we out.
Yes, sir.